working at the Metropolis in Kendall, Florida, and you have to be very, very proactive to work in this proactive to work in this complex. There was a lot going on, but you had to know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it to survive. And sometimes when plumbing problems would arise, like 2 in the morning. Now, in the brochure of the building, it would read 24-hour maintenance. Well, that wasn't always the case. 2 in the morning, you call, no one responds. The resident or residents are standing in front of you, waiting for this problem to be solved, and you're going to tell them, no one's coming. Or they don't want to hear you saying, I can't contact anyone, or there's nothing we can do. I would keep a plunger in my truck on purpose. Sometimes these people would not have even a plunger, even though they were paying expensive rent and had nice furniture. Some of them just didn't think a plunger was important. I would keep one in my trunk. And that would be the only problem sometimes. They just needed a plunger. And there may be a valve on the faucet that may come loose, and there's this dripping. I would keep my wrenches, my ratchets, and my toolbox handy, ready to go. I would come back downstairs on the elevator with checks and cash for being proactive. I did not ask them to pay me. I felt I was doing my job, but they felt this appreciation, and that's what they would do. So when I seen that happen, then I would go out of my way and try to do more now to make things run smooth. Sometimes they would have problems with their vehicles. Why can't my vehicle start? Or I have a flat. I would keep my air pump. Being proactive. We had a meeting one time in this room, and I would share my stories, or some of them, of keeping the peace. You don't want to call the manager at 2 in the morning telling them you don't know what to do. That is a disaster. That I did not do. Sometimes in these buildings, the smoke detectors go off and will not stop. It's simple to go up and pull the battery to stop the problem. But in this case, they had vaulted high ceilings in one part of this property in this building. A 10-foot ladder had to be used to access the battery, the smoke detector, to get the battery out. I had to drag or carry this 10-foot ladder, or maybe 20-foot ladder, across the valet parking, through the door, through the lobby, and it barely fit on the freight elevator to take it to the unit. Not only that, the hallways were narrow. I had to be careful not to scratch up the walls, and to get it into the unit, I had to maneuver because sometimes some units, the sink was right not too far from the door, the countertop. So you had to maneuver that, and before you put that ladder up, I had to wrap up the legs where it was going to lean against the wall to keep from scratching the wall. All this stuff had to come into play. You had to be on point, not to mess up. And sometimes there were long chandeliers hanging in the way, and to maneuver that ladder and keep it balanced, you had to have some type of muscle to do this. To get up there, then you had to In some cases, you had to extend the ladder, just a little, to get to the smoke detector. Why they put them so high, I don't know. But if you did not stop that noise, that resident or those residents would be standing in front of your desk until you do. And to call the manager would have been, he may have been mad, but I did not want that, so I stayed proactive in this building. Diversity to business.